Hey everyone, this is College Prepper. Wanted to give you a little review about some books that I bought and made some modifications to. In our family, we like to be prepared and we like to do it cheaply, but we also like to be safe. Safety is the absolute #1 importance, and so we actually made some hollowed out books. Now we actually keep guns in our hollowed out books because that's the whole reason of having them. And my wife picked up these books for $2 a piece. You can get them at Goodwill, at DI, wherever. And we tried to get books that seemed kind of inconspicuous or relative to us. And this is actually a Spanish and English dictionary. Both my wife and I speak Spanish, so it kind of makes sense to have it in our bookshelf, but yet inconspicuous, you know, because we both speak Spanish. And so basically, with each book, I did two different ways of making it. I actually made this one first and this one second, but I like how I made the second one better. What I did first, which is easiest to do, is I took my drill and took my 3/8 drill bit and I made a mark on it with this duct tape to see how deep I wanted it to go. And I basically, just in the four corners, I drilled until it got down to the duct tape. And that's when I would stop, obviously. And the corners are the hardest to cut out normally, and so that's why I drilled them, so I wouldn't actually have to be digging at the corners with my X-Acto knife all day. This book only took me about a half hour to make. So the first thing I did was I got clear Elmer's glue from Walmart. It was a little under $2, and I got a $1 paintbrush. And all I did was I took my paintbrush and I took the Elmer's glue, I put it on here like so, just kind of squeezed it on there, and then I took the paintbrush, which I have somewhere around here, and I just brushed it back and forth until it was all even. So there were a couple of times when I accidentally left spaces in here, but I just kept painting, and I did on all edges, and it's, I mean, you can hear that's hollow, but that is rock hard. I did the same thing on the inside. I took my X-Acto knife and I got a, what do you call it, DVD case. Used that to measure the inside of here. I drilled the corners, took my X-Acto knife and just started cutting away. Obviously I let the outside dry first. It's easiest to do it that way, otherwise the pages start moving a lot. And that's the problem I had in the first one, the first book that I made. Basically what was happening, I didn't glue the outside first, and so as I was cutting it, the pages, I was cutting at different lengths. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but on the bottom actually, especially here, it goes deeper in this direction, just because it was harder and harder to cut as the pages went down. I kept unfolding the top pages in the other direction. Same thing on this book. I used a DVD case to size the inside, but on this one I actually used rubber cement. And rubber cement, I hadn't used it in years, since like 6th grade, and it's very flexible, and I didn't like that. The pages were actually coming apart still, and so I took the Elmer's glue and put on a second coat. As you can see in this one, I didn't drill the corners, and I highly recommend that. I would not recommend the 3/8 drill bit. It's kind of big. I would use something a little bit smaller, just enough so you can get the tip of your X-Acto knife in there and not have to cut out the corner as difficult. I went ahead and put Bill of Rights in the bottom of here and covered it with the Elmer's glue, so it's got a nice protective coat on it, and it's kind of cool to have that inside there. So this book took me a couple hours to make because I didn't put Elmer's glue on the outside first. The other one only took me a half hour. So I highly suggest you do that. I'll show you this gun. This is the size of a DVD case. Fits my XD subcompact in it really easy with an extra mag. Thought I had was just to get some extra foam and kind of like a gun case, just cut it to mold to the gun and magazine. You can kind of hear the gun in there if it's moved around. The other one is just enough, is big enough that it actually kind of locks itself in place, so it's not a big problem. This is a gun I actually carry every day. I'm just showing you how it fits in here. But this book is 9 years old, and we actually had people over the other night, and the guy, we were talking and we're showing him stuff around the house, and he asked, "Why do you have upgrading and repairing PCs book?" That seems kind of outdated and old. I mean, it doesn't seem like something someone would read. He actually said that, and I thought, that's the point. You know, I didn't tell him what was inside, but I said, yeah, that's, well, I said I like to have it around, you know, for whatever. And so I would just suggest you go to Goodwill, find a thick book, and cut it out. I made the mistake of leaving these first pages here and using Elmer's glue. It may not be a bad idea to leave some pages on the front. It's kind of a personal choice, but I think this is a great way to hide guns from kids, neighbors, your kids' friends that may come over. Especially kids, if you get some sort of boring book, kind of like this, excuse me, it's very unlikely that they're going to grab it. I mean, kids that are running around trying to do mischievous things. So I highly suggest these. They're kind of fun to have. The cheapest I found them online was for $18 plus $3 shipping, and I made these for a grand total, each book $2. Didn't even use half a tube of Elmer's glue and a paintbrush, so it was all under $8 and for 2 books. So that's not a bad deal. So if you're looking for a way to conceal your gun, but have it readily available, I highly suggest this. And this is College Prepper reminding you that if you fail to prepare, you are preparing for failure.